Yes. Okay, fine. Why we have Naveen? Naveen is just representing the UiPath, and he's a consultant, product consultant, and been there and done there, and he's able to just able to give you a little technical thoughts. What is the product? How do we go about it? And he also works with Sahana. Sahana heads the support group for UiPath from India, and she also manages the other countries as well. So as a UiPath, we are going ahead and partnering in a bigger way to just bring more women into the workforce, as well as to train them in RPA. So that's the agenda. We have just signed up for the partnership, and with the mission, we are moving ahead to just bring more women into the automation. So all of you would be having a question about what is automation? Is it good for me? Have I taken break? Is that is the right thing, etc. All things is getting answered here. Right. Over to you, Naveen. Thanks a lot. And once more, I'm going to ask you to just say a few words about you. Just go ahead.
Yeah, thanks, Manjula.
Yes.
So, hey everyone, welcome everyone to this little session that we have planned for everyone. And so, to keep it short about myself, I am Naveen. I've been working as a product consultant in UiPath for around a year. And so far, the journey has been really good in terms of learning, in terms of getting to interact with some of the new cutting edge technologies. And yeah, it's never been a day where work has never been exciting for me. And we have recently started working with Manjula in terms of training people who are interested in getting an RPA skill set so that they can pursue their career. They can start it after a break, whichever direction that they want to take it in. And that's wherein we are helping them completing their trainings and assisting them with any queries that they have. And so far, it's been a really great interaction. The team at HSI has been really helpful. They have helped us a lot, and the candidates are equally good. They are very excited whenever they start, and I see that excitement carrying forward towards the entire training session. So yeah, that's how it has been going. And once again, I'd like to welcome everyone for this talk, and please feel free to ask any questions that you have.
Perfect. So thanks, Naveen, and it is a collaborative effort where all of us are extending to just for the cause. And thank you very much for you, your team, and UiPath for making that transition as well and supporting our mission. Thank you so much. So with that, I would like to just start off the queries where people would like to know from you, and wherever, as I said, comfortable, go ahead and push your thoughts. Otherwise, I'm here to pitch in. Okay,
Yeah.
go ahead. So the first one is, this question comes from Suma. Would like to know how to get the right opportunity to get back to work. What? Okay, okay. So anyway, I just started. Let me just do that Suma's question. It is in the mid of it. 1 second. Let me just bring that Suma. Yes. So would like to know how to get the right opportunity to get back to work. What are the companies which have its door open truly for experienced women professionally? And the second question, okay, there's 3 questions over there. How to get right opportunities with work from home option. So Naveen, I'll just step one after another, just see wherever you're comfortable. Would
Yep.
like to know how to get right opportunity to get back to work. So not sure about Suma's qualification part of it, but if you would like to just make a general statement, go ahead, then I'll just pitch over there.
Okay. So, in a general statement sense, there is no specific company that gives more importance to experienced women, less importance to experienced women. It's about how much good the candidate is, able to adopt, take the risk, and not see that I have a break in my career as a hurdle and is willing to do the job and excel at it. So if these qualifications are there, I believe uh, being a woman and having a break, or being married, having experience, not having experience, I don't think these should be hurdles to getting a job. And this is, I think, common for any company.
Absolutely a bang on it, Naveen. So it's a corporate when they just wanted to just bring the women back to work, or they're hiring the existing people, all they are looking forward is a talent. what talent they are just coming out with that, and is that matches to their requirement, right? That's where it is. So as long as when we are having a break and we are able to showcase and prove the point, yes, we are equally or better than able to just do that, it shouldn't be the bigger challenge. So that's the thanks for Naveen just pushed it across. The second one is coming over there is, what are the companies which have its door open truly for experienced women professionally? So many of the corporates started doing this work now. So we are able to see members are corporates taking this as a serious affair and then trying to do that. So one good example, UiPath itself, I can just quote that, right? When they just come back and then look forward, there's a talent, why can't we just bring them, train them, and then bring them back to work? So similarly, but however, having said that, the criteria for hiring or qualifying has never changed, right? The difference you are able to see with us is we are skilling you to the level where you are able to get a level field playing area where you can go back and then do that and take it opportunity to create, yes, I can also play. So if as long as we are able to do that, I think every other organization we should be able to get the opportunity, and that's where it is go about. Somebody was just talking about it. Was there a question? And we have just paused everyone, so you need to raise your hand in order to talk to us, and then we can either unmute and see your audio quality, or you can chat with us and then just take this forward. Right. Okay, fine. So that was the second part of it, what we have just covered. The third one is how to get right opportunity with work from home option. So probably, Naveen, I'll pick up this question, so that since you may not be having a good hands-on experience to talk about that, right? Okay. So how to get right opportunities with work from home option. Again, Suma would like to understand the field which you are talking about that, but as a general principle, if you are just looking for work from home option, again, you should have, people would love to just come, just take the example of Fiverr or freelance or whatever is there, Upwork or whatever is available. It's like freelancers going and saying that I can just do that, and they also put their credentials and say that, yes, I'm just good, this is the clientele, I handled it, right? So that's how we should be able to start and working. But in order to get start to that level, where do we do that? So we can just hone yourself by getting into the projects or about the assignments, anything as a voluntary work or something to showcase us, you can just do that. So a couple of members from our group, if you just ask us to share some examples, people have just come like a IT person wanted to do the development by themselves. We have just given a couple of sample assignments and projects. Now they have just joined our team or client team, and the returnship program, they are able to just do that. And work from home is predominantly, if you have a skill, you need to prove yourself you are able to do that and ready to work on the SLA part of it, then it just comes. So as I said, the portal like Fiverr and freelancer should be the good help. And in order to get over there, if you need any help, connect with Her Second Innings. We should be more than happy to assist you on that front. So let me move on, Naveen, to the questions from the beginning. So this question comes from Suman. What is the growth path in RPA using UiPath? Go ahead, Naveen.
Yeah. So there is actually a depth to this question, right? You can, when you talk about RPA as it is, there is a big topic that you can talk on about, and when you talk about UiPath's role inside RPA, it's again a vast area. So let me try to alter the question a bit. Probably I can answer the question: how easy is UiPath to learn inside RPA? Right. So UiPath is always proud of its learning material, mainly because it's free for use. It's available to everyone, and so when it comes to any enterprise tool, you need to have a license to use it, right? But when it comes to UiPath, there is a community version that people can use free of cost, and functionality wise, there is no difference between the paid enterprise version and the community version, which is available for learning purposes. So both from the content perspective and from the technical perspective, when I say technical perspective, I mean the tool, your content is available to you for free. And on top of that, you have a very, very good uh, portal wherein you have developers all around the world posting thousands and thousands of questions every day. And not just posting questions, they're also getting answered as eagerly as people are posting questions. So the moment you see one question, you hit refresh on the page. 5 minutes after, you'll see 2 or 3 answers in all of those pages. So that is how active our community is. So when it comes to UiPath, your content is available, your tool is available, and you have a community available. And I think that is pretty much what any person would need to learn a new tool or any technology when it comes to it. So if you want a ranking, I would say UiPath is a very easy tool to learn with its available resources at disposal.
Okay, fine. So thanks, Naveen, for doing that. So then let me move on to the other question which has been asked. Just a minute. I'm just going to. Okay, guys. So the next question is, I have a career break of 13 years. I want to start my career now. Can you please guide me whether there will be any opportunities for me in RPA? If so, how can I start? Naveen, please go ahead.
Yeah. So I'll give the same answer that I gave during the last session. And when you talk about a career break of 13 years, it's not just a challenge in RPA, it's a general challenge. Any work that you go, if you have a career break of 30 years, technical, non-technical, business, management, anything, it'll always be a challenge to accommodate your 13 years of break. Now, the way to overcome it is to have the attitude to face the 13 years break as a part of your career and be ready to work on a work that you would have continued 13 years ago. So let's say you have 5 years of experience, and if you're coming back after 13 years, you should be with the mindset that you can take up the 6th year or 7th year experience job and then perform it as good as any person who would do it without a career break. So if you're ready with that attitude and continue for 1 or 2 years after the break, then you should be able to get back into your 10 years or 11 years of experience that you would usually get. I mean, sorry, the job which you would get with 10 years or 11 years or 13 years of experience. So initial part after a long break will always be challenging. It's not just RPA, it's any industry. So of course, in RPA also, a long break is going to be challenging, but it all depends on the attitude with which you face that challenge, which is going to help you excel in that in that,
Awesome.
that scenario.
Awesome. Thank you. So the other question comes from Padmaja. Can you please suggest which is the best way to learn RPA, whether online course or offline?
Okay, so by offline, I'm assuming they are referring to classes that are being conducted outside, right?
I guess so, Naveen. This is, as I said, we've just picked it up. Just go ahead with the
Okay.
context,
Yeah.
saying that
So
they're
with that
looking.
assumption, we'll answer it, and if there is any change, probably somebody can post it up in the chat.
Yeah.
So online versus offline training mainly depends on how well we are with picking up online courses. So online delivery medium is not for every person, right? Some people will have a mindset that I need to go to a center and then learn, and that's when I will actually learn something. But for few people, that's not the case. I just need to look at 2 or 3 videos and then I'll get the content. So it mainly depends on which mode of learning you are comfortable with to learn RP. Now, the difference between both of them, as I said, is not much. The learning that you get offline will be mainly dependent on the person who's going to take that training for you. And if you go to an online center, if you go to an online learning, it's more how much you can absorb that content. So the content is same, I would say. It's just that whichever you're comfortable with should be the deciding factor on which mode you're going to take.
Right. So just to add Naveen's comment, so yes, you're right, Naveen. It is absolutely, if you're disciplined and you're also curious in doing it by yourself, the online makes much comfortable to do that, right? But I keep telling people about it. I just cannot do my workout without the trainer because I need that push. So that's a kind of a person, because I don't have that kind of a discipline, especially when it comes to the workout in the morning to get up and then do that. So it's absolutely a personal comfort of who you are. If you are a kind of a person wanted to learn by yourself and you're geared up to do that, then online is much better to just do that. Offline is you are able to take time and then go to the place and then do that, your time availability. The one thing also, whether it is offline or online, one thing which works out well is have somebody who can answer your queries and then helps you and pushes you. Because when in the online, the only challenge I face that unlike you have some community who help and then promotes and then do that, etc., it would become difficult. So have somebody, whether it's even a peer should be good enough, somebody to just guide you and then take you to the next level, and some experts with you. That's it. Thanks, Naveen. Right. So the next question I have is Sneha. I have 4+ years of IT experience with a leading MNC. I had to quit for personal reasons. In the break, I have completed MBA program full time. Now I'm planning to join back after a break of 4 years on HR profile, but not getting good opportunity. Naveen, would you like to pick it up, or can I just step in? Whichever is comfortable.
Yeah, I have few points. So
Please.
this is actually an interesting case, right? So before the break, your skill set is different, and after the break, you're looking to get into a different skill set. Now, the way to look at it is, and let's say you are a graduate hire who has completed MBA, and you're going to go inside your first company, right? So that is the level that a person would be after you have completed your MBA with or without a break. You would obviously have some business experience, you would have some industry experience in the initial 4 years, but obviously when you're going to jump inside a management skill set, it's going to be your 0th year, right? So that would be the main challenge that would be coming inside the way of getting an appropriate job. So if you're going to look at joining 5 or 6 years with MBA knowledge, it's definitely going to be hard. So maybe you can try a lesser experience satisfying role, so that you can at least get the hang of it, and then down the line you can say that, see, I already have 4 years of experience, and you can jump into the relative group that you're targeting to join.
Awesome.
Angela, you can add in some more points.
Okay, Naveen, awesome. And I never thought with these questions you would be answering, but I'm glad that you are just pitching in. Happy about it. Thank you so much for doing that. All right. Okay, good. So just to add to the Naveen's question, so one thing people comes from break, and then in the especially in HR, I'm sure you would be knowing about it. There are two streams available. One is called your generalist, another is called the recruiter. Right. So the generalist, the people literally need to have a good experience to restart the work in your corporate part of it in order to get back. So the easy way, if at all you're keen in getting into that, maybe the recruiter work will just work, because you can just join. Again, as I said, anybody who wanted to recruit you, again, they would like to see some experience to showcase, yes, you would be able to deliver it. That's where the project or the volunteer or a returnship, all those things comes into handy. So find out in and around nearby your startup could be the good place where you can just go and say that, hey, I would like to help you guys in your company to just do your recruitment, or a generalist. Is that okay? You don't need to just pay. Maybe 2-3 months of experience I would like to gain, and you can also see how am I doing. That's an easy way to do that. No, Manjula, we are not comfortable in connecting with any of the companies like that. You need a help, connect with hersecondinnings.com. We are having 100+ startups where we should be able to connect and then give you that. But as Naveen said, when you're switching over from one career to another career, people are going to look at you from the base level rather than at the experience level, because the career is altogether is new. And once we create a little leeway over there saying that we have just done and showcase, then our resumes can be built and credentials can be highlighted to take it to the next level. So that's the way you should be just looking forward, Sneha, how to just rejoin the bank. Thanks, Naveen. Let's move on to the next one. And somebody, Richa, would like to know, I want to join this course, explain in brief. So Naveen, would you like to pick that up?
Yeah, so this course as in the UiPath therapy course.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay. So when you talk about when you want to know about the course, I would say the best way to learn it is using our online learning platform, which is academy.uipath.com. Now the course, all the courses that are available in Academy is free of cost, but for starting, what you'll have to start off with is the basic course, which essentially comprises of around 12 to 13 chapters, which talk in detail about using the tool. So that will be your basic course, and once you have completed that, you will have an understanding on how to use the UiPath tool in itself. But if you want to if you are looking to start up a career with UiPath, then I would suggest completing the level 2 and level 3 courses, which are basically level 2 talks about a component called as orchestrator, and level 3 is an advanced course where you would be pushed to try out a pure development scenario wherein you create your own workflow and then publish it online. So this there might be too many technical words if somebody is not aware of UiPath, but to keep it brief, you have three different courses that you can start off with in the same order. That is, first is the level 1, then the level 2, then the level 3, and with this you will be able to get an understanding on how to use the tool, what are the different components that are there within the tool, and how to start off development with the tool.
Right. Okay. So just to add to that, okay. So Naveen, the one of the challenge where we need for our women community, I think some of our members are also available from our existing courses as well. Going through when they have just come from break and going through your online course is bouncers, right? Because they've just coming from break, it is just the little difference for them. So that's where our program comes into handy for them, right? So where we have a dedicated instructors. We created our own LMS to just do that along with the UiPath content to just take them to the day-by-day session, what has to happen weekly basis. Also, the similar kind of hands-on experience have been provided and then given the instruction on how to do that. That makes them comfortable to do that. So initially, at least till they just cross your first two courses, they need that guidance. Once they're just done with that, then they are at least curious as well as excited to just move around other part of your developer course, which is what is just happening. So add to that, yes, if people need a support when they just wanted to see how to do what to do, and of course needless to say, when the people are coming with us to do that, you are also available for them once a week. I just bring you your team to just tell them how to just go about. So that's also another booster for them to just know about what they're supposed to be doing about it. So pushing together, taking the course for people who have just taken break, it always helps with some guidance. If you are a person who have just left the industry, you're from the development background and you are just fond of getting into hackathon by yourself, etc., then this learning online itself will just help you. Correct me if I'm wrong, Naveen.
Yeah, that's true. Whatever learning that we are doing, if it is self-interest, yes, you can get to a point. But if you're looking for in-person support or a good holding hand that can guide you through the training, then I would obviously say the HSI team is already well equipped to do that.
Perfect. Okay, thank you so much. So let me just move on to the next question. And okay, so even in this question, okay, let me just take few more minutes just to tell them. So I want to join this course and then explain in brief for Richa's question. So Jayanti, you said 21st we are just starting our batch 3, isn't it?
Yeah, we are starting on 21st of August.
21st, right? So, okay. So right now, the process for joining that is we are having the assessment to just see how to qualify. It's for the developer stream. We are just bringing them IT development, and people are in the testing stream where they are able to cope up. And once you just do the development part of it, sorry, if you just pick up the assessment and if you just qualify, then we would be able to enroll you into this program, and then you can just join us on 21st. We do have two formats for this program because based on our learnings from batch 1 and batch 2, one is called your express, another is called your standard format. Express format is people who have just got the less than 2 years or 3 years of a break, but more than 3 years of a development experience, so that they are able to cope up quickly and then come up to the speed. Anyone who has got a longer break, it takes time for them to do that. So the standard format goes beyond 6 months, because in 6 months duration you would be learning about the UiPath content, and we also have the project specific for you to run through and assignments, etc., which will take 6 months for you to gear up. But if you have just come from a longer break, because some of them have just come with 8 years break, 10 years break, right? Really, it is a bouncer for them to just understand what we are talking about. And even for the industry to just appreciate them, they need more credentials in their work, saying that they've just done a couple of more projects to experience, as well as to give a exposure for you for the new work. So we created another one called standard, which has got more than 6 months. So we just kept it as more than 6 months to less than 18 months. If it is a shorter break, I think 6 to 12 months you should be able to complete it. If it is really a long break, like 8 years, 10 years, 12 years, whoever is just coming over there, I think spending more time on gaining that knowledge is essential. So is there any queries, team, on this before I just move on? Anyone would like to ask, feel free to just ask me about it, and more than happy to assist you. Jayanti, even if you get any query, just keep me posted. We will try to answer that as well.
Yes, Manjula, sure.
Okay.
As of now, we could see the candidates from other locations also. So
Okay.
just to reiterate on the location specific, how RPA is going to help them in different locations. I think Naveen can also give a light on that. There is Sisira, who is from Hyderabad. So across locations, what is the growth for RPA? How is the scope?
Okay, so I can talk in terms of UiPath as a company being spread across locations. Yes, UiPath is available in almost all the major cities where you would find an IT company in India. And yes, Hyderabad is one of the locations. So from UiPath's perspective, yes, there is a company that you can join if you skill yourself in RPA. But RPA is not just used in uh, the RPA company itself, right? There are like thousands and thousands of companies that are using RPA to build amazing automations that help different clients. So really, I don't think there is only one particular geographic location that is good for learning RPA. Wherever you are, there should be an running opportunity where you can jump in inside RPA.
Perfect. You just made
Thank you
it
so much.
right, Naveen. It's RPA is the one of the booming industry where people are moving towards that. So this helps them to just pave the steps for them to just connect anywhere, wherever they are, and able to join, whether it's a startup or the corporate, it doesn't matter. And many of the locations we are also working with UiPath and UiPath clients, etc. So we should also be able to open the doors for you, provided the milestones and other things have been just met as per what we have just agreed when you are just signing up for the program. Right. Okay, fine. So let me move on to the other question. What should be the path followed to be back in corporate sector? This is the question by Meenu. Go ahead, Naveen. Once you finish it, I'll probably add something towards that. Go ahead.
I think that's a good question for you to start off with.
Okay, I'll do that. Fair enough. So let me just, okay, we just started the batch one with Sahana, right? So what was the thought behind that? When we started, we thought we will do it for IT as well as for non-IT. That's where we have just thought, because in IT, the people are going to come back, preferably most of them from the rather three backgrounds, one from the development, testing, and the support professional. These are all the three things we just saw that. So we thought people would be comfortable in coming back to that. And then the people from non-IT also, we felt that there are a business analyst and the other opportunities are coming. Why can't we open that? So that was the thought process for the batch one, where we just got about it, how to go about it. And when you wanted to transition back, please understand the current returnship program or the current UiPath program is just talks about your, as Naveen was saying, if you have to get into the RPA, there is a three courses where the mandatory: your foundation, orchestrator, and your developer course. This is the three things which we are talking about. So this three course, when you just do it, the expected outcome of this program in the corporate world is to start the work either on the support, or even for a developer to start, you need to have a good exposure or experience in the RPA development in order to do that. So this was the only two paths available to restart the career for the course what you picked up. Now, a couple of people are going to ask, coming back, I come with a experience of 7 years, 10 years, or even 5 years. Where is our path is going to be? So let me just add the value for that. The training what you're just picking up for this UiPath is for making yourself comfortable in starting your doing a automation for a traditional process. So that's a straightforward. Now, you being the project manager, you would be able to do that. Now we need to restart that as a separate path. Again, as I said, corporates are willing to experiment and startups are willing to experiment, but this experiment comes in terms of a projects. Nobody is just going to tell and saying that, okay, you come with 10 years of experience, you picked up the RPA course and you're going to join back as a project manager. No. Or even the senior developer. That's also not going to happen. What's going to happen, your resumes will not be put away because you have just learned and you have just showcased what you are just doing and you are ready to go back. Now, the only project is a source for you to gain that credential. So that's where the difference between you just going to learning about RPA, and if you want to come back to the workforce, you need that platform to bring you back. Right? So even if you just say that the batch 1, I think we have just done 11 people have been qualified to just attend the interview at UiPath. Right? So there's a shortlisting and other things are going on as per that. So your profile will not just get out from the site of the corporate for doing the program, but if they have to select you for the particular role, they need to see there is a credential has been kept in your resume and you are able to showcase, somebody is vouching on that. So that's the difference where you are creating. So now go back and answer your query by yourself. I think whoever just asked, I am just looking at that, who asked this question. Yes, Minu was asking this question. So now you push that answer back to you. I am from 5 years experience, if that's the case, and I am just doing the learning path. What else the project I should be part of it in order to get back to the work? If you are at 10 years of experience, what are the couple of projects which will just add value? Now, if I'm only coming with 2 years, 3 years of developer and I am just doing, this must be a cakewalk for you. Right? So this is where is the journey what we are talking about, what we are bringing the difference here. The difference is two things we are just doing predominantly, which we are able to see it in a batch 1 very clearly. Batch 2 is just started, still on the learning phase. We would like to come back and comment on it little later about it. We just got 32 members enrolled in our batch 1. So the members come from diversified background, in fact, including the non-IT people. We picked it up, right, to just train them. So the people who committed and willing to learn and they understood, they just completed. I think we have, how many people have just come to the milestone of completing the foundation, Jayanti? It's 19? Yeah?
That's right.
Yeah. So 19 people out of 32, we just got them into the foundation, and 19 of them are now proceeding to the majority of them are going to the developer, and a couple of them are going for the BA courses because they are from the non-IT. And one of the example I would like to say, where there is a girl who have just come from HR background and she gives her best to do our RPA over here. And she knows that she needs to do a multiple iteration of the project in order to get back to the workforce, and she is fully aligned and she is just giving the best. So the only request I have for people who are looking forward to come back to the work, this is the excellent platform for two reasons. One, somebody is giving you the handholding for you to learn what it is, and it is also connected with the partners directly, where for example, here we are talking about bringing Naveen, Sahana, and believe me, the UiPath team is to the core, the charming people and charming organization. Anything you go and ask, they are ready to support. No, even out of the way, people will just go and explore. So that's the support of the handholding you have with us, our own trainers, certified, and then created the content to give you the progress handholding, and you have your partner to do that. And beyond that, this is just the learning. So beyond that, what we have is about giving you the project exposure to just take you back. So this is the, I would say, the USP or comfort or the hand holding which is happening, which brings you. Now depends on your profile, where whether you are from the developer, whether you are from manager, you are from the business analyst, your project number of project is going to add value to get back to the work. I'm sorry, I just picked up the longer time. I thought these questions were keep just coming again and again. I thought I'll just take the opportunity to just share something more about it. Naveen, feel free to add if I just missed anything.
I think you covered up everything, Manjula.
Thank you so much. So let's just move on to that. There is a question from Brinda. How will I be trained in RPA? Any pre-foundation necessary for this? Jayanti, would you like to pick it up to tell us what we are just doing about it? Or if your network is not stable, probably I'll pitch in. Go ahead. Hello?
Okay, we do have a foundation. Hello?
Yeah, go ahead.
Hello?
Yeah, we are able to hear you, Jayanti. Go ahead.
What we are considering for this program is from a testing or a okay.
Okay, Jayanti, I'm going to pick it up. Sorry, I'll just go ahead. Right, okay, fine. So, so to answer your question, how will you be trained in RPA? So there is a two ways you will just go. One, as Naveen said, you have your UiPath LMS content. I think 13 chapters is your first foundation, which you would be just, we have just created UiPath and we put together, we created a week-wise schedule. Around 10 weeks, you would be running through that. But while you are just doing that, you will have a hands-on as well as your live session with your instructors plus UiPath and your doubt clarification session. It will come on periodically to just make sure all the chapters are covered. So that's how you will just learn. It is, we call it as a blended learning, LMS and a handholding with instructor along with UiPath. That just happens. And any pre-foundation is necessary. Doing your assessment is necessary to see whether you are qualified for this program. So as long as you are able to clear your assessment, we should be comfortable to tell you, yes, you are good to go about, and we can pick it up from there onwards. Hope that answers your query. So let me just move on. So the Suma question, we have already answered it. So the next one is Meenakshi. How to find quality work? Are data entries or calling or only work left for work from home moms? I'm not sure whether Naveen is just going to pitch in. So, but anyway, I would like to just ask whether you would like to pitch in. Otherwise, I'll just pitch in now.
I think you can start off. If I get some points from your conversation, then I'll add it.
Good. Okay, fine. Okay, the answer is no. Just to give you the first answer, the answer is no. You can just get much beyond the data entry work for calling work. Beyond that, you can just for work from home. All right. Is that going to happen on a day one? The answer is no. All right. As I keep saying about it, any work, for example, I wanted to come back and restart the work, right? I left the development long time back. I just decided I wanted to be a developer. Now, let me just put that maybe 15, 20 years back, I was just doing my development work. I wanted to come back and wanted to just apply anywhere as a developer. Is anybody is going to pick it up? The answer is no, just because I have 20 years of experience. So what is that I should be doing in order to get back to the quality work, what I am just aspiring for? The one is going to be prove myself. Prove myself, it doesn't mean you have to just go there and do that. Couple of projects which showcase and gains the confidence, yes, I'm able to do that. So again, if anyone wants to work from home or something like that, just see how do you gain that experience. Again and again, I'm just coming back. Learning something doesn't qualify that we are ready to come back to work. That's not the corporate parlance. Corporate parlance or any of the employer who wants us to hire us is, do you have the sufficient skill to prove you are ready to come back? So you need to find that platform who provides that. First of all, before even coming to the platform, can you do it by yourself? Answer is yes. There is no doubt about it. And with the connected internet world, you go to a LinkedIn, you go to your meetup.com, you go to anywhere, you would be able to figure it out. So if you are not able to do that, because some of them naturally not that kind of a networker, some of them are naturally not that kind of a vocal to just figure it out, or some of them are not active, they want someone to help, whatever could be your reason, then you're going to come back to the platform like us, who is just going to help you. So then our platform just comes and then gives you a step-by-step approach. You know what, if you want to come back, it's not something I'm ready to just join, you will just take me up. Somewhere there is a protocol is required, framework is required, and you just come, we will handle you as a step-by-step opportunity for you to walk through. Then you will be able to find it out. Hope this answers you. And very well, the opportunities for work from home is available, but you need to be patient enough, committed enough to just carve out the path what you are looking for. Naveen, anything you want to add, feel free to do that.
Yeah, so there's just one point that I would like to add. When it comes to people who are looking to get more work from home opportunities, especially married women, it's mostly in the case that they have to give some time to the home and also looking to kickstart their career, right? That's the most common scenario, I guess. So one of the challenges that this community would usually face is companies, as you know, would always look for people who are ready to spend the 9 hours in office most of the times.
Or more than 9 hours. Let me also put
Yeah,
it
exactly.
across.
That's what I was. That's what I was going to say. Not just well-established corporate companies. Like well-established corporate companies would require well-established profiles. That's how they would filter out candidates who can join them, right? And the other end of this big giant IT sector is startups. But again, startups are a tricky scenario because it's easy to get a job in a startup because being the company itself is brand new and just budding. They would expect a little more push from the employees end also. So if I'm a startup company and if I'm hiring someone, I would obviously expect them to extend past their working hours if in case there is something that is not in the right place. So it's a bit chaotic, a lot of room to explore, a lot of room to grow, but again, it's always chaotic. So well established companies, they are looking for good profiles. Startups, they're looking for okayish profiles, but they're looking for people who can actually stretch. So it's going to be a challenge in any place. That's what I would say. But again, try one recommendation that I would give is focus on the aspect of growing the career, and all of these hurdles will be easy to overcome. There is obviously going to be hurdles. There is no company that I wouldn't say no company, but there are very less companies that would be okay with people working from homes all the time, or taking most of the time work from home and being available at the office a little bit of the time, maybe in a day or so. But again, these are all going to be hurdles. But the easiness quotient of overcoming these hurdles is going to depend on how good or how your entire attitude towards growing your career is going to be.
Fair enough. I mean, thanks for that. But I will, because we have a lot of other questions to cover up. But then, just to add another point of what you said, the hurdle, if they are ready to just make themselves comfortable in startup, corporate is ready to hire them.
Yeah,
that's the beauty of it, right? So though we just say it is a challenge for them, if they are able to showcase, I worked with a couple of startups and the startup founders are able to give the testimonial to them. They are the excellent resource that becomes a basis.
Exactly.
So that is where we just go and thrive on the people to make them ready, available, saying that, because as you rightly said, for a corporate, we give a SLA. Our women professionals are much better than your working people because they have just taken a break, they proved themselves, and they're ready to come back. Yeah. So we are able to make this SLA to them just for the one reason, because they got that project experience in the startup. Right? So that's where it is. Okay, thanks for that. And let me move on.
Sorry to interrupt. Just a quick time check. I have another call in another 2 to 3 minutes. So
okay, fine. Okay, then I'll pick up the question which is relevant for you. Then rest I'll just leave it to you.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, how can women willing to change the stream benefit from this program? Would you like to just say some few words about that based on
Uh,
our discussion?
yeah. This stream is actually a good place to catch up on RPA and have a good training experience on RPA and UiPath both together. So if you're excited or if you're interested to change your career, I would say this is a good place. But when you're talking about entering into a whole new career path, yes, it is going to be challenging because obviously it's a career change, right? So when you're changing your stream, it's going to be challenging, but it's a good place to start off with. That would
Okay,
be my comments.
perfect. Okay, another two more questions I'm going to just ask before you leave.
Yeah.
One is, what kind of programming is required in RPA?
Okay. If I have to answer this in an easier way, your general object-oriented programming concepts are very much required when it comes to using any RPA tool. And if you're talking with respect to UiPath itself, UiPath has support for Visual Basic, and it's going to release support for C Sharp also. So without coding knowledge, you can still use the tool to an extent. But if you're planning on doing complex automations, you would require some amount of programming knowledge as an added advantage. So it's not a minimum requirement that you should understand what programming is, what programming languages you are aware of. It's not a minimum requirement, but it's going to be an added advantage on how well you can, grasp these concepts and work with them.
Perfect. So the last question to you, Naveen. What is the scope of scope for UiPath in data analyst and data scientist?
Data analyst and data scientist,
Mm.
not much, I guess, because I have not seen any role that might require a data analyst or data scientist background inside our team, that is, or maybe the interacting teams with which whoever we talk with. But having said that, I don't think it's entirely a no. It's always a good skill to have, especially when you're working with large data and ETL tools and all of that. With UiPath, there is no what do you call dedicated component that is going to make use of this skill set, but there's obviously going to be some integration where the data analysis and data manipulation, all of this will be a prerequisite to use the integrations part of it.
Perfect. I think you have just given your time, and thanks for be available for full time. And if this will just go out as well for our community to just share that. And if there is any question, we will come back and follow up. And thank you so much, Naveen. Rest of the
Sure.
queries we will handle from the team, and then we will just continue forward, because couple of 5-6 queries, since you have to go hard stop, we will let you go now. We'll pull you back
Okay.
again. Thank you so much.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks,
Take care.
everyone.
Okay.
Happy
Thanks.
listening. Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye. Okay. So we can continue, team, while we are just doing. There is a couple of other questions. Let me just answer that. The other one is, yeah, hello. Is it audible? Is comfortable? Fine. Okay. If there is any questions, please just raise it here. And we are more than happy to do that. And there is a chat window has been opened, and feel free to write it here as well. Okay. The other questions where we are just getting is, are there any part-time developer openings for women in the Indian software industry? So it's again, if you're looking for a corporate, they may be starting with the returnship program, saying 4 hours, 6 hours, or whatever it is, for 1 or 2 months. Are they going to keep it as a permanent in a corporate as a developer as a part-time work? The answer is no. So that's how we have seen that. But there are organizations, for example, our returnship with Cisco, etc., that just gives a good flexibility to work. So you can also explore in those aspects as well. Is the foundation and advanced training in RPA good enough for proceed for returnship? Of course, it is good enough to proceed. The moment you finish your advanced, and by then you will have a 1 or 2 projects in your hand, which you would be finishing it off, which is literally a good platform for you to just go back and scout for the job by yourself, or we can also open up the network and then share it across. This is more than sufficient to restart the career in automation once you finish your foundation and your developer part of it. I think that has been asked by Sharda. So Sharda, anyway, you are part of the group and we will take care of you. Don't worry about it. Right. So then there is a Priyanka Das. There is a question. I have a career gap of 3.6 years now. I want to return to work, but due to this gap, my resume is not getting shortlisted. What shall I do? So this is a regular question we keep getting, and we see the experience. So simple way is restart with your returnship. Along with your training, just do your projects, and that is where you would be able to see the platform is getting reopened. Your resumes will no longer would be put across saying that you're in a break. So that's the way you can just go about it. And there's a question coming from Brinda. What kind of test is assessment? So this is just a basic developer questions, which is nothing to do with any of the language. You can pick it up and then do it, because RPA involved a basic programming. Even if you are kind of a macro programming is good, and VB, whatever you are done, so it's just going to assess yourself on that. And there is a two set of assessment you can choose. One is your developer profile, another is a tester profile. The tester profile, we just testing the automation skills of you. And if you're a developer profile, you can just pick it up only one of that, right? And Divya is asking the question. I am from HR recruiter background with 6.6 years. I am interested in this course and have a break of 3 years. Could you please help me answer my question? So is the question was given earlier? Was that we have just spoken? Just give me a moment. Is that the, yeah. How can women willing to change the stream benefit from the work? Is that the question, Divya? Just type your question. Let's just see that how I can just help you. Once again. Okay, that's not the question. Okay, go ahead and type the question. So while she is just typing the question, anyone has any other query, feel free to do that. Hey Vidya, thanks for just joining. You have any query, just look at, let us know. Happy to answer your query. And yeah, I am not looking for a job in IT domain. Okay, fair enough. So you're looking for something in HR, and you're thinking this RPA is going to lead you to get into the HR to do your generalist or a recruiter part of it. This is not going to add value to you. Let me just put it across so that we are clear about it, what we are talking about. All right. So with your profile, how you should be able to look at that, maybe I'll just give you the gist of it. And if it feels you are kind of excited to explore that, there we can just help you. But the simple answer, you will not be able to use this RPA learning to join the HR organization either as a generalist or a recruiter. That will not be possible. So number one. So where are we going to bring the value add over here? So now when you're just looking at the automation, every industry is looking, and HR is the biggest industry as well, where they are looking for automating your recruitment process and your hiring process, onboarding process, or anything you just look at that, they are looking for. So you can become a business analyst, and you would be able to guide the developer to take the journey to make that happen. But it's easy to say that you should be able to have your business acumen or in HR to talk about the process, etc. But even in order to get into that side of it, doing the foundation course is necessary. In order to do the foundation course, a little bit of knowing the IT, little bit of a programming, and everything is necessary. That is where our assessment becomes a tool for us to decide whether you are there or you are not there. If you are not there, we will only allow you to just get into your training piece of your programming, or we do have boot camps, etc. This is also a handled program where you can join and then get your idea of what we are talking about. Again, if you are interested, you can join the returnship program. The purpose of the returnship program is to give you a learning, to give you the projects, and then bring you back into the workforce. That's where we would like to do that. That is where we are pushing the process, framework, everything in structured manner, so that many women are able to, whoever has been qualified, able to get into the framework and get a benefit out of that. We have a question from Brinda Sudarshan. After finishing the 3 levels of RPA, what is the next procedure for internship or assessment? So when you just do our program, the program comes with the milestones. We call it as a milestones, right? The first milestone is your foundation certification, which is from your UiPath. The second comes from our HSI certification, just to assess whatever you just learned in the UiPath, you have just been applied, because it is like a project basis, whereas the UiPath is just the MCQ basis, where you will just do about it. And then you have your continue with your orchestrator and your developer, where you would be doing, and in parallel we'll start kickstart your pilot project and your real projects in the client. So by the time in 6 months time frame, you are done with all those things, and every project, when we say that there is a SLA to just prove that at least you were able to take your 80% of your deliverables as committed, and the client is also happy. That's all is our milestone part of it. If you are able to do that and we are able to see that, then we would be able to open up the doors for the corporate to connect and then have the discussion for the returnship program. Again, when we are opening the doors, at least you would be able to sit and talk to the client, and preparing that. We will also guide you how to prepare and what is their expected, etc. But going over there and finishing the interview and taking the offer, it's absolutely your job. It is not something you have just done the program. When we open up the door, we will also get you the offer letter, right? So please don't come with that kind of expectation. People have just joined Cisco, people have just joined Infosys because they were able to clear the interview because of the preparation what we have just done that. If you've just not done that kind of a background work and not ready for that, even though we open the door for the corporate, you won't be able to clear the interview. Hope that answers your question. But since I just said something, I have a subsequent thought. Let me share that with you. So in the interview, what will happen? So probably that would be a light for you to just take that as a path. So in the interview, they will not be bombard you with your typical lateral hire who is working. In the interview, there would be a basic test of your development. If you are just going for a development, if you are going for that, and that is what they expect you to clear. That level setting we have just done with most of the corporate. When our women's comes for the interview, just do the basic level of what is required and assess them. So interview process per se will not be like a tedious one, but then making that clearing that is up to you, how you can just go about that. Fair enough, makes sense. Any other question, team? Jayanti, are we done with all our questions? Is there anything pending?
I think
we're done with that.
yeah.
Okay. So all the best.
Just to make it clear, once again, the prerequisite for this program is based on either a testing or a development background, to reiterate that. And then we do have 2 options available, which is a standard and an express model. The candidates who have got less than 3 years of break are eligible for the program with express. The candidates who have more years of break and less years of experience will be eligible for the standard option. Please write to us to returnship@hersecondinnings.com for any queries, and we will be able to share you with more details about this.
Yeah, you can also type your mail ID so that people also just get that input for them. To whoever wants to reach out, feel free to reach out to Jayanti.
Yeah, Vandana has given the website URL also. You can just go through that as well. Yeah, Brinda, you have some last question. Please tell me. I'm happy to help you out with. So you type your question, Brinda. If we get selected in the startup, is it possible to get a flexible timing, like half a day work? remaining working at home. Completely depends on the client, which we are connecting with Brinda at this point of time. Like when you complete your certification and your milestones, depending upon your performance with the client, you can build a rapport, and then further it is a choice whether you will be getting a work from home or a flexible opportunity.
Fair enough. Okay. Thanks, Jayanti. Thanks, Brinda, for asking that. And thanks for everyone joining us. Looking forward to connect to you. Take your time and connect to Jayanti, understand, and looking forward to bring you back to the workforce again. It's just the second innings. Thank you for joining with us. Have a good day.
I'm looking forward to connect with each one of you. Thank you so much for the session.
Okay, bye.